Wait a second. Okay. I hope I'm streaming. What's up, everybody? Got the verdict. Here.
We're hearing from Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyers. Let's listen.
Oh, damn.
Mark, along those lines, where does he go from here?
He has to get on with his life the best he can. I think eventually some anonymity will come back to it. I don't think he'll continue to live in this area. I think it's too dangerous. He's had 24-hour security since this happened.
Damn.
We're thankful that the judge protected his address.
Damn, 24-hour security?
In this case, and when I say that, I mean prosecution, defense. To me, it's scary how many death threats we've had. You know, I was answering my phone on the way back from court in Kenosha. My office isn't that far. After 24 death threat, I quit answering the phone.
And Mark, what do you say to the people who may look at this verdict who still think that he had no business being in Kenosha? What do you say to the people who are frustrated by this?
He had as much business being there as any of the demonstrators or the rioters. That's all I can say. I mean, there's going to be people who will never agree with that statement, but you know, if we all would just mind our own business a little bit, I think we'd all be better off. And it's a hard lesson to learn, but
Couldn't that have been said about
So,
Kyle?
wait, hold on.
it could be. He was at
Did his lawyer just basically say he had no business being there?
business being there as any of the demonstrators or the rioters.
Fair statement. Everybody should just been home.
Threat, I quit answering the phone.
And Mark,
Wait, why was he there? Wasn't it like the Jacob Black thing?
what do you say to the people who may look at this verdict who still think that
Yeah, wasn't like, or Jacob Easton, something like that? Some dude that got shot in the back, cops, when he went to his car.
no business being in Kenosha? What do you say to the people who are frustrated by this?
He had as much business being there as any of the demonstrators or the rioters. That's all I can say. I mean, there's going to be people who will never agree with that statement, but you know, if we all would just mind our own business a little bit, I think we'd all be better off. And it's a hard lesson to learn, but
Couldn't that have been said about Kyle?
it could be. He was asked to be there. He wanted to help the community, and you know, that's the narrative that the state went with. He shouldn't have been there. He was asked to be there by Nick and Dominic, and the Kandiri brothers wanted security. And, you know, I'm not trying to blame anyone. I wish he had never been separated from Ryan Balch, and we wouldn't be here.
Does he regret coming here to Kenosha?
I don't believe he does. I mean, you know, if he had to do it all over again and you said same thing is going to happen and life is going to be put in a living hell for a year and you're going to not know if you're going to be a free man, he would say, I wouldn't go. But we can't undo time.
Mark, the president was just asked about the verdict. He says, I stand by what the jury has to say. The jury system works. Your response?
And I'm not laughing at President Biden. What I'm laughing at is a friend of mine who's a lawyer said, he goes, and him and I had done a big case together 7-8 years ago. And he said, do you think this Rittenhouse is going to be bigger than that case? And I said, you know, I do. And he said, why do you say that? And I said, I've never had a case, and I don't think I ever will, where within 2 days or 3 days of one another, you know, the president and the presidential candidate comment on it. And both of them had such different beliefs. President Biden said some things that I think are so incorrect and untrue. He's not a white supremacist. I'm glad that he at least respects the jury verdict. And if the government had any information regarding
Check out my poll, everyone.
that he had been to any of those
Let me know what you think. Was justice served?
doing that kind of stuff, it would have been introduced in evidence. It wasn't. We were the individuals who released his cell phone, which couldn't be cracked by the FBI because we had nothing to hide.
For those of us that got here a little bit late, can you just kind of reiterate or go over his reaction immediately after?
No, I'm not doing reruns.
In any civil actions?
What's that?
Do you plan to represent him in civil actions?
I'm a criminal defense attorney. I don't do civil stuff.
You're a veteran criminal defense attorney. Talk about what's the one thing you learned.
Okay, what's
Every case is different, and every case.
got the verdict? They call him Biden on the Rittenhouse case. Told ya.
I just heard a moment ago.
Do you have any reaction?
I didn't watch the trial, so I,
Do you stand by your past comment equating him to white supremacy?
There's no subtitles.
well, look, I stand by what the jury has concluded. The jury
Terrible, terrible. Probably at least 4 of them. And it's quickly. It's all.
Pardon me?
He stands by the jury's decision, though.
All right, members of the jury, have you elected a foreperson? Would you give your juror number, please?
54.
54. And has the jury reached a verdict as to each count of the information?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
One verdict and one verdict only.
Yes.
Would you hand all of the paperwork to the bailiff, please?
This is the ones that we didn't know.
Everything?
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. May I see that too, please? Chairman, thank you.
This man takes forever to fill pages.
The defendant will rise, face the jury, and hearken to its verdicts.
State of Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse. As to the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum. We,
This
the
man
jury,
takes forever
find the
to fill
defendant,
pages.
Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Rise, face the jury, and
As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
And there's the last
As to
one,
the
right?
fourth count of the information,
Ask the guy pointing
Anthony
the gun at
Huber,
him.
we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
I mean, it was not guilty as soon
As to the
as.
fifth count of the information,
You heard him say the first two? Because the last guy had the gun.
Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. Unknown male, we, the jury, find
members
the
of the jury,
defendant,
Hold on,
these
Kyle
are
is this-
unanimous
Rittenhouse,
verdicts.
not guilty.
And
Is
there's
there
the
anyone
last
who
one.
does not agree with the verdicts as read? Would you wish the jury polled? No. Okay. Okay, folks, your job is done, and we started just about 3 weeks ago. And I told you it could last 2 weeks and 2 days. This is 2 weeks. This is 3 weeks. You were a wonderful jury to work with. You were punctual. You were attentive. And the forgotten six over here who had a very difficult job of keeping from discussing the case during the time that they were sequestered as well. All of you, I couldn't have asked for a better jury to work with. And it has truly been my pleasure. I think, without commenting on your the verdicts themselves, just in terms of your the attentiveness and the cooperation that you gave to us, justifies the confidence that the founders of our country placed in you. So I dismiss you at this time. You're never
Post-speech.
under any obligation to
Post-trial
discuss
speech.
any aspect of this case with anyone. You're welcome to do so as little or as much as you want. The media have requested, a number of media sources have requested the ability to talk to you, and they have been allowed to present presentations to you that you'll get in writing, and it's entirely up to you whether you want to contact them. They are not to contact you. If anyone does contact you, and just tell them you're not interested in discussing it, if that's the case. And if anyone persists in doing so, report that to us and it will be addressed, I assure you. At the beginning of the trial, there was some concern about information and your safety, and I assure you that we will take every measure to ensure that that is your concerns are addressed and respected. I'm going to talk to you for just a minute, not about anything to do with the case, but just about that sole issue. And you, as I say, you're welcome to discuss the case as little or as much as you want. Any questions, anybody? Thank you so much. And you're after 4 years, you're eligible for service again. It would be my pleasure to work with you. Thank you.
Is that how long it is in between?
Yeah, please. Or in the they can sit in the library. It's not going to be more than a minute, or maybe it will be.
Interesting.
Yeah, take them upstairs. That's fine. That's fine.
I have to the first day for Almond Albury.
Any questions, anybody? Thank you so much. And you're after 4 years, you're eligible for service again. It would be my pleasure to work with you. Thank you.
I've got to disappear. It's about to get crazy.
It's been a long 3 weeks. We're very happy with the verdict. We're happy that the jury took the time, put in an incredible amount of effort. There were times we doubted the case. There were times we were confident. And to say that we were relieved would be a gross misunderstatement. And Kyle is not here. He's on his way home. He wants to get on with his life. He has a huge sense of relief for what the jury did to him today. He wishes none of this would have ever happened. But as he said when he testified, he did not start this. And we're thankful in more ways than one that the jury finally got to hear the true story. And when I say the media, I'm talking about social media and things like that. The story that came out from the beginning was not the true story. And that was something that we had to work to overcome in court. And we think we did that.
Okay. Such a short speech. Crazy, crazy. You know what you guys think in the comments, guys? Not guilty. Saw it here first. Wait.